There's a woman who spent years holding space for others, guiding them through heartbreak, uncertainty, and transformation. She's helped countless souls find their way back to themselves, to rediscover their strength, their worth, their voice. But before she became the coach, the guide, the healer, she was just like you, learning her own lessons, often the hard way. Her name is Tina, and these are 3 things she wishes she knew earlier. Lessons that change not just her life, but the way she helps others find their own power. You see, for a long time Tina believed that love had to feel like a storm, messy, unpredictable, all-consuming. It's what she'd seen, what she'd been taught. And so she stayed. She stayed in relationships that drained her, thinking if she just worked harder, communicated better, sacrificed more, then it would finally feel right. But it never did. She didn't realize back then that real love is peace, not chaos. That you don't have to prove your worth to someone in order to be loved. It's a simple truth, but one that eluded her for far too long. Years later, as a relationship coach, she would meet women sitting across from her, telling that same story, a story she knew too well. The exhaustion in their eyes, the ache in their voices, the way they'd shrink back, as if apologizing for wanting something more. And in those moments, Tina knew she had to speak a new truth. She had to break the cycle of believing that love had to be earned through suffering. You don't have to earn healthy love, she'd tell them, her voice soft but firm. You only have to receive it. There was a time when Tina tried to fit into everyone else's expectations. She was the good girl, the perfectionist, the people pleaser, always smiling, always accommodating, always putting everyone else's needs before her own. She played roles, she stayed small, she dimmed her own light so as not to outshine anyone. But something inside her started waking up, a quiet voice saying, "This isn't who you're meant to be." It started with a whisper, a nudge, a feeling of unease, and then it grew louder, more insistent, impossible to ignore. She began to change. She said no more often. She took up space. She invested in herself. She started living a life that felt true to her, not to the expectations of others. And not everyone clapped for her transformation. Some friends drifted, some questioned her, some even tried to pull her back into the box she'd just broken free from. But that change, it led her here, to a life that feels aligned, authentic, and free. Now she tells her clients this: if your growth offends them, let it, because shrinking never served her and it won't serve you either. Chapter 3. You're not behind. You're being prepared. There were nights Tina wondered if she was too late, if she had wasted too much time, if all the pain, the detours, the heartbreaks, meant she missed her moment. She'd look around and see others achieving their dreams, building their empires, seemingly gliding through life with ease. And she'd wonder, what about me? But life had other plans. It had a way of weaving together the most unexpected threads, of turning what felt like setbacks into setups for something greater. Every twist became training, every delay, divine alignment. When she began guiding others through their transitions, their endings and new beginnings, she realized she had lived every lesson she now taught. The heartbreaks had taught her resilience, the detours had led her to her purpose. The times she felt lost and alone had shown her the power of her own strength. You're not behind, she often tells her clients. You're being prepared for what you're meant to hold. Healing takes time. Purpose unfolds in layers. And divine timing, it's real. Outrow, you are exactly where you're meant to be. These are the 3 things Tina wishes she knew earlier. Love doesn't have to hurt. You're allowed to change. You're not behind, only being prepared. And now, she shares them with you, hoping they land at just the right moment. Because if you're listening to this, it's not by accident. You're evolving, you're awakening, and you're exactly where you're meant to be.